أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما تحب وترضى وصل عليه اللهم علمني ما ينفعني وانفعني بما علمتني وزدني علما اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وصلى الله تعالى على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. We are on the topic of, or the subject of love in the Holy Quran. And we started off with the concept of mercy, which is the one of the essential attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And how love is basically mercy concentrated, or concentrated mercy equals love. I gave you the description of concentrated mercy equaling love last week, and we said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us and the species of jinn for no other purpose but to worship Him. But that's a very general and a very generic explanation of وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Because just to say that man has been created for worship only without a definitive explanation, right, will leave more questions rather than answers. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Holy Quran has given us plus minus 25 reasons for our creation. Simply. And each one is based on us loving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and absolutely worshipping Him thereafter. Remember, you got to know somebody to love them. And it's only when you love them, right, or you love Him rather, that you'll receive a degree of veneration. And after veneration comes worship. Right? So worship is exclusive for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the highest degree of love in terms of the English language, if I had to use the word, would be veneration, okay? Which is a mixture of love and admiration itself, right? So we said last week that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us, right, that they may worship me. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said one of the second reason why Allah has created us, so that we may become Allah conscious. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. And I gave you the example of the snake inside the pillowcase. Right? You'd be hyper aware of the presence of the snake, and you wouldn't do anything to jeopardize your safety in the presence of the snake, in spite of the fact that you can't necessarily see. It's covered in a pillowcase. Right? But just the realization, the imminent danger that can pose, right, puts you in a state of hypersensitivity and hyper alertness to its presence. Now similarly, people who are Allah conscious, who have a heightened degree of taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, are hyper aware of the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So similarly, they would be as sensitive to do anything or to act in a certain way which will incur or which will lead them to an action which is not in keeping with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not keeping with the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Moreover, they will be very, very particular in terms of not only their actions and their words, but even in fact their thoughts as well. Although Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not hold you accountable for your thoughts, that's one of the mercies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was granted in Al-Mi'raj wa Amana Rasul the last verses of Surah Al-Baqarah discussing Mi'raj, and so you should remember that, right? We are not held accountable for these thoughts, but the fact that we are in a state of negligence and lack, or we lacking awareness of the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, keeps us in a state of what I would call deficient awareness of the presence of Allah. What do I mean by this? Right now, you and I are not in a state of hyper-vigilance about the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the way you would be if you were presented, with like a light coming up from the heavens, and like Musa alayhi salam, not that we can compare to Musa alayhi salam, like, Inni ana Allah la ilaha illa ana fa'budun. This is like a one-on-one, connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, Allah is here, okay, mashallah. But Allah is absent from us, meaning, or rather we are absent from Allah. Allah is always present, but we are absent from the realization of the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you became hypersensitive to the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the all-pervading presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do you know your life will become quite difficult? One day there was a waliullah, right? And he, by mistake, right, he pulled out his feet, and extended his feet, like you and I extend our feet when we're going off to sleep, and then very quickly he put his feet back straight again, and he sat down in an at-tahiyyat position. And it's the first time that they had seen him actually spreading out his legs, and it wasn't in the face of in direction of Qibla either. So I said to him, Chef, it's the first time we've seen you like this. He said, no, for one moment I became negligent and I became unaware of the presence of Allah. and my leg automatically stretched out. Because when you're in the presence of if you're in the presence of a king, normal earthly king, will you stretch your legs out and sit down, like, hi, Liz, you okay? You're not going to do that, are you? Right? Your Highness, Your Majesty, blah, 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 blah. You courtesy, you make sajda to them, ruku for them or something, right? In the presence of Allah. So he says, Allah is with me all the time. I'm in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time. How can a servant sit with disrespect on the carpet of the palace of the king? That's what his words. Because this earth, right, is the carpet of the king. So he said, how can I sit with disrespect upon the carpet of the Almighty King? Another example of this hypervigilance of the awareness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Junayd al-Baghdadi rahimahullah wa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, right, had a very dear disciple of his. And the other students typically became jealous of this student, because Sheikh Junayd al-Baghdadi used to pay a lot of attention to him and whatever it is. So what's so great about him? We're all students in the same class. He's the teacher, but he pays a lot of attention to him, right? Like I pay to Anwari, like the class monitor. Right? So now he realized that in his khanqah or in his zawiyah, things were becoming a bit tense, and like everyone's trying to ostracize this young man. So he said, I'll solve the problem. So he called all of them, right? He got a hold of quite a few chicken and fowls or whatever it was, and he told all of them, I want you to go and slaughter this in such a way that no one must see you slaughtering the animal. And tell me how you came and did it, right? So everyone goes out there, one fellow goes, he goes into the bathroom, inside there. Everyone comes back there, each one is doing, how did you start it? I said, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, I made wuzu, I faced Qibla, I did this. The other one said, no, you know what, I made sure that the animal wasn't in pain, and I did swift. Everybody. The murid that he loved so much, he comes back with a chicken all alive. Not dead yet. So he asked him, so they all started laughing at him. He said, he didn't even slaughter the chicken. Finally, Junayd al-Baghdadi will get some sense in his head that this fellow is useless. Right? So Junayd al-Baghdadi stopped, he didn't say anything, he waited. He said, tell me, son, why didn't you cut it? He said, Sheikh, you told me that I must cut this chicken where nobody can see me. Wherever I went, Allah was watching me. Wherever I went, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was watching me. So what could I do? I couldn't slaughter the animal. Now that's taqwa. That's awareness and vigilance of the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Similarly, right, there was another great sheikh, and he wanted to appoint his representative after his demise. And he said, let me put a test out to them. And you see how much they learned about taqwa. That's what you learn in a spiritual center for excellence. Taqwa, Allah consciousness. So he told all of them, he said, I want all of you to get me the best flower that you can find as a gift to me. Hey, someone went and brought tulips, someone went and brought roses, someone went and brought, St. Joseph lilies. I don't know what they brought, but anyway. Right? They brought a whole lot of flowers and whatever it is, and he came. The murid, that was also his dearest, he comes there with a dead wilted flower. Everyone comes with bouquets and roses and this and that and whatever it is. He comes with a wilted flower. So the Shaykh asks him, tell me, everyone bought me such beautiful roses and tulips and whatever it was, and here you bring me a wilted flower? So all the murids said, well, this fellow was in the running for being number one. He's lost it. He said, Shaykh, this was the only flower that I saw that had completed its cycle of dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning it had wilted already. Right? Therefore, because it had completed its ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I said, I'd rather bring this one to you so that I won't in any way interfere with the other flowers that are making the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's taqwa. You see, Allah has created us for this. وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ. He is with you wherever you may be. Right? وَنَحْنُ أَقْرَبُ إِلَيْهِ مِنْ الْحَبْلِ الْوَرِيدِ. And we are closer to you than your own jugular vein. وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ. And we are within you. أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ. Do you not see with the eyes of insight? Do you not see him? Quran says at the time of death, وَنَحْنُ أَقْرَبُ إِلَيْهِ مِنْكُمْ وَلَكِنْ لَا تُبْصِرُونَ. We are closer to the deceased or the dying person, but you don't see us. I said to you, I think I don't know, what was the lecture? Sometimes I overlap with where I said what, right? Anyway, you're seeking Allah. You want to find Allah. You want to experience and you want to bathe in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By the way, in this matter here, doctors are excluded. Right? Sorry. Bathe in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The hadith of Sahih Muslim. The Prophet said, Allah will ask on the day of Qiyamah, Ya ibn Adam, O children of Adam, I was hungry but you didn't feed me. They say, Allah, you are free from hunger. I was thirsty, Ya Allah, but you are free from that. Allah said, I was sick but you didn't visit me. He said, but Ya Allah, but you are free from illness. Allah subhanahu for the two, Allah said, if you had fed the hungry person, you would have found his reward by me. If you had quenched the thirst of a thirsty person, you would have found his reward by me. But I was sick, but you didn't come to visit me. And when the person said, Ya Allah, but you are free from illness, Allah said, had you visited the sick person, you would have found me by him. Not my reward. You would have found me by him. So we seek a spiritual experience. Right? When we want to know that, we are like in connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's running at 100 megabits per second, you understand? But we'll search for that on the big night, so to speak. Or we'll search for it in the masjid, or we'll search for it in the presence of all of these places are nexus points, high extreme Wi-Fi areas, you understand? Right? Hotspots, that's the one. Or God spots, not hotspots, God spots. Right? But Allah says you'd have found me by the sick person. But we don't want to seek him there. You know why? It's inconvenient for us. Because our notion of spirituality is something else. Our notion of spirituality is, Allah, subhanallah, tabarakallah, mashallah, read Quran, Yasin, Manzil and everything inside that. No, be connected, khalas. Or do one zikr once a week, then over, done with, khalas. But sitting by the sick person, right, holding his or her hand, meant his hand, right? In this kind of fashion, right? And saying a few words of comfort, right? Making dua for them, asking them to make dua for you, cheering them up, making them feel good, feeling their pain, really feel the pain of the sick person, is what elevates you spiritually. And in the time, from the time you left, the Prophet ﷺ said, when a person intends to leave to visit the sick person, he's covered by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When the person finally sits down and engages with the patient or the sick person, right, then he is submerged. One is he's covered, now he's totally submerged in the mercy of Allah. And this being submerged in the mercy of Allah remains till the person reaches home, to where he came from. Now, why doctors are excluded for this? For every patient visited, they charge you for a hospital visitation. So you got your thawab. Allah says, okay, no, this is a joke, right? So this is it. This is it. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. And somehow or the other, these are the lessons that we need to learn. The practical dimensions of it. And this is what we seem to forget. Taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala means, I committed the guna, Baba, you shouldn't have committed the guna in the first place because you should have been aware of the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this comes with constantly remembering. That's why they tell you dhikr. Dhikr is to remember because you've forgotten. Some scholars say, but why do we make dhikr when we haven't forgotten? Meaning they've reached such a level that they are constantly in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So dhikr for them is something that you do when you forget. They're saying, but we've never forgotten you. You see? Now that's the highest level of taqwa. أَن تَعْبُدَ اللَّهَ كَأَنَّكَ تَرَاهُ. To worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as if you are seeing Him. Meaning the experiential aspect of your worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should be such that you should be worshipping as if you are seeing Him. You're paying attention to me right now is because I'm physically here with you and I'm engaging with you and I'm talking with you. In salah, it's not Allah communicating with you. When you say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, right? Allah says, my servant has praised me. And it goes on and goes on. And if you lose your attention and you diverge, you take one detour out there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, oh my servant, what's more interesting than me? What has taken your attention away from me? Allah is speaking to you as you are supposed to be speaking and communicating with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in salah. But you and I are not communicating with Allah. You and I are not engaging in intimate conversation with Allah. You and I are reading salah. Alhamdulillah, we're reading. That's a recitation. That's a tilawah. That's not communicating with Allah. That's not speaking to Him. I mean, if you want to speak to someone that you are in love with or whatever it is, are you going to speak to them, like in monosyllables or like a what do you call a horse? What do you call this? Horse racing commentary. And then how you went here, what are you going to do tomorrow? And how I miss you at the end. What are you talking about? You're babbling around. You're doing an auction or you're doing a horse race here? Now
do we not do that with Allah? Either we conduct an auction, right? Or it's like, on your mark, you said go. Like I know some people, they sit for Tarawih, they say, tell the guy a little bit faster, you understand? Why? No, 5 minutes more. It's not, it's of no consequence when they Allahu Akbar, they said Subhanallah, or there is Surah Fatiha. Allah, bolted out of this table. We lack in the taqwa, okay? See, we need to start the discussion, okay? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, the second one we said, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us, the species of the human species, the humankind, was to know all things. Surah Baqarah. You'll go in Surah Baqarah, is the last one. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught the vicegerent of Allah, Khalifatullah fil ard, the father of humanity, Adam alayhi salam, the names of all things. Kulla. So he made Adam alayhi salam the greatest teacher, the greatest student, and the greatest possessor of knowledge amongst all of creation at that time. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. He taught Adam alayhi salam the names of all things, the nature of all things, right? how they live, how they interact. He taught them all of these things here. Then he taught them malaika. ثُمَّ عَرَضَهُمْ عَلَى مَلَائِكَةٍ أَنْبِئُونِي بِأَسْمَاءِ هَؤُلَاءِ. Inform me about these names. In kuntum sadiqin, if you are truthful. This is قَالُوا سُبْحَانَهُ. Meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us indication that we are His chosen ones. And why? Because He's granted us with the crown of Khilafah and Vicegerency. What gives us the edge above angels and for that matter jinn is knowledge. The knowledge that Allah granted Adam alayhi salatu wasalam was a knowledge that the malaika were totally oblivious to. They had no knowledge of this. Allah didn't grant them that knowledge. Allah granted us that knowledge. So we have the responsibility of bearing, so to speak, the burden of knowledge. It's something which elevates us above even malaika as well. Right. Now this evening I want to touch on knowledge itself because we need to know our purpose in life. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا, right? But there's degrees of knowledge. Let's go back to what we discussed last week, which was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about the purpose of our Ar-Rahman. Remember? The most merciful. Meaning Ar-Rahmanu 'allama al-Qur'an khalaqa al-insan. The most merciful taught the Qur'an, khalaqa al-insan, and He created man. Right, we'll go to another discussion why 'allama al-Qur'an comes first and khalaqa al-insan comes second. It should have been khalaqa al-insan, 'allama al-Qur'an. But we'll get to that some other time. That's haqiqatul Muhammadiyya sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay? Ar-Rahman, the most merciful, 'allama al-Qur'an, khalaqa al-insan. Now here 'allamahul bayan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking about it. And you look at the first verse that will reveal اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us in these two verses here about the very beginning of our creation, right? And very purpose of our creation. علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. He taught man that which he could know not. علم الإنسان علم بالقلم. He taught man through the medium of the pen. Here is telling us علم البيان, علمه البيان. He taught man clear, explicit speech, which means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that one of the knowledges which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted us, which He has not granted to any other species out there to that degree, is that He has granted us the knowledge to be able to communicate verbally, right, as well as through written communication, whether it's electronic, whether it's it's hand done or whatever it is there. So we have two forms of communication, right? Animals and all other species communicate verbally only, and most of it, I think I mentioned this, most of it is already pre-programmed into them. We are one of the only social animals out there, like some other birds and some dolphins or whatever it is there, and parrots and so on, that actually learn through social interaction. We learn bayan, we learn speech through social interaction, because everything is in us. Allamahul bayan. All that you need to do is to give meaning to those words. When a child initially speaks to be da 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 da, papa papa, mama mama, everyone says, oh, it can't be da 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 da. You understand? Everyone loves all that. But eventually the child begins to understand the speech regardless of where he may be. So if he's in Africa, he's going to understand African language. If he's in Arabic, he's going to understand Arabic language. No one taught him grammar, and no one taught him sarf and nahu. No one taught him this. No one taught him sentence construction. I only learned sentence construction. I got more confused. When you go to school and they teach you this is a verb and this is a noun and this is an adverb, I think about your adjective, and you're confused us even more when we left it. Because this was natural to us. They just gave you the names of the things that you know naturally. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Allamahul bayan. He taught man the ability to articulate verbal articulation. Now, if you look at this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. What type of knowledge did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant Adam alayhi salam and to humanity? And this is interesting. Some of the scholars state that one, he taught Adam alayhi salam, وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. He taught Adam alayhi salam the names of all things, meaning the nature of all things. That's one degree of knowledge, or one category of knowledge. Then the next one is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, he taught Dawood alayhi salam chain mail making. Which means that Dawood alayhi salatu wasalam, وَعَلَّمْنَاهُ صَنْعَةَ لَبُوسٍ لَكُمْ لِتُحْصِنَكُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِكُمْ. Right? And we taught him the artisanry of garments. Meaning, this is not normal garments, this is how to make, chain mail, for war, to protect people, like today's modern day bulletproof vests. Right? And Quran says, وَأَلَنَّا لَهُ الْحَدِيدِ. And we softened metal for Dawood alayhi salam in his hand. How do you soften metal? By heating it. But not only that, Dawood alayhi salam had the ability to do so merely with his hands, without any heat. Okay? Now, third degree of knowledge, right? Isa alayhi salam, وَيُعَلِّمُهُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةِ. No, that was his voice. I'll get to that just now, right? وَيُعَلِّمُهُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ وَالتَّوْرَاةَ وَالْإِنْجِيلِ. And he taught Isa alayhi salam the kitab, wal-hikmah, and wisdom, wat-Torah, wal-Injil. Now, if knowledge of the book here meant Torah and Injil, Allah wouldn't repeat it again. He says here that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I taught Isa alayhi salam 3 categories of knowledge. وَيُعَلِّمُهُ الْكِتَابِ عِلْمُ الْكِتَابِ. He granted Isa alayhi salam عِلْمُ الْكِتَابِ, knowledge of the book. Wal-hikmah, right? Knowledge of the book is what we would call cosmic knowledge. Right? Wal-hikmah, what we would call spiritual, I'm going to use the word spiritual knowledge for this. Right? And wat-Torah wal-Injil, and religious knowledge.